What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Metal Roundtable. This is episode number, what number is this?
92.
92? 92. And with us, we have, as always, Metal Rob.
Yeah.
AKA Hair Metal Rob,
That's
as
right.
we affectionately call him. And MIA is Carcass John, but I just got a text from him, so I assume he'll be here shortly. And below us, we have guests.
Yes.
Tanner Poppet from Madrost, the Muddy Madrost.
Thank you guys so much again for having me. How you gentlemen doing?
Great. Thanks for coming on.
Good.
Should be fun, man. I'm looking forward to this one. I saw the one from last week and you guys killed it. So I was like, ooh, I've got to. Oh, I guess he's gone too. I guess. I wanted to be a part of it. So thank you guys again for having me. So
not a problem. We were supposed to have Dave from Havoc as well, but apparently he's stuck at work or something like that. So he may either be late or we'll have to have him on another time, but we'll see. And I don't know where everybody's at, but today's discussion is on thrash metal. It's actually part 2 in this discussion we're having. Part 1 was bands formed around 1999 to 2000 and albums that are just fantastic and bands that are fantastic from that period. This time we're doing albums that have been released since 2000 from bands that have been around since before 1999. So formed by, the classic 80s, early 90s bands that we're talking about. But hey, welcome back, Rob.
Yeah, I made a grievous error live on the show. I went to check Carcass's text and I booted myself out of the broadcast.
And I already let everybody know that about Dave, so we're good on that. But
all right, cool.
In any case, do we want to do shout outs or you just want to get right into this?
Let's see. I should have been prepared. I should have been more prepared for this.
Prepared? We prepare for this?
No, we don't prepare for this. So Friday was my birthday, and much like Carcass always has to talk about.
Happy birthday, Rob.
Thank you. Much like the Carcass always has to talk about, Osric tentacles or whatever. I have to talk about, hair metal. And I was over at Born Late on the 51st anniversary of my birth. And Henry gave me these. Check out that hair.
Nice.
Is that you on the top right?
It is not. Brother, you think I ever had that much hair?
I have no idea. I've never seen pictures.
Nope. Anyway, shout out to Henry over at Born Late. And yeah, it was good to see those boys. Ran into John Perez again from Solitude and congratulated him on the release of his album recently. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got. What about you?
I'm good. I'm ready to jam.
Do it, bro.
I got John was going to be in here, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm right. I'm going to admit up front, I'm totally riding in the sidecar on this deal today. You boys go crazy. I'll make faces at you or stupid comments. It'll be great.
Oh,
well, you're big. Awesome. You're big right now, so you go first. Take a pick, man.
So we are talking favorite thrash albums post 2000 from bands. Hang on, bands formed prior to 2000. So what I did was I went classic. And I'll just throw out a couple of my favorites. And then in all seriousness, I'm going to let you guys go and I'm going to watch the fireworks. And as soon as the Carcass shows up, we will dig on that. But when I think of classic thrash bands, I think of Exodus and Testament and Overkill and Slayer and all those, the big thrash bands. So one of my favorites is actually this latest Testament, man. This thing just crushes. I love it. Gene Hoglan is the man. I just dig the whole record. was very, very, very happy when this came out. I also love Formation of Damnation a lot. They've had a couple in between.
How about this one?
And this one. Yep, Brotherhood of the Snake is good, but I like this one a little better, and I like Formation of Damnation a little better. But anyway, my favorite, I think, of all time, without going through my entire collection and trying to figure out something else, but the thing that came to my mind immediately when I thought modern album from classic thrash band is this bad boy right here. I absolutely love this. This is just about the most violent Gary Holt's guitar tone has ever been. Zetro on vocals is fantastic. This also goes, and I know Tanner will agree with me, this goes with a huge, huge nod of recognition to the Rob Dukes era, because the Rob Dukes era is just violence personified in music. It is so good. So huge nod, but this is my very favorite modern thrash album.
Good choices, man.
What do you think about that?
All right. So while I'm going to help out John here for a quick second. So Tanner, go.
Cool. Well, I'll do my shout out real quick.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to the Mighty Osric Tentacles, because this record rules.
Yes.
Damn it.
So I just had to give, since John's not here, I'm going to do it for him. This album's awesome, dude. Okay, so go pick this up. This is Pungent Effulgent. So there's my shout out for the week.
What are you guys doing to me? All of you.
Why? So what's the problem? You're not a fan of the Osric?
No, that's actually not true. I like to kick John in the nuts about it, because he talks about it. It doesn't matter if we're talking about Swedish death metal or whatever. He shoehorns in an Osric Tentacles, or as I call them, ostrich testicles. He shoehorns a mention in almost every freaking show. And so I just got to making fun of him about it. And if I would walk into his house, he'd be playing it. There'd be a video on, just always Osric Tentacles.
That's
so,
awesome. That's awesome.
In a collection I bought recently, there was an Osric CD in there, and I always cull the stuff that I want for my collection first. And sure enough, I put that thing on, listened to it, and I was like, man, this is pretty damn good. And so there it is. It's right there on the shelf waiting to go in the collection.
There you go.
So he's right. I'm not saying he's wrong. I just like to give him shit about it.
Well, dude, they've made like 30 albums.
TJ, no, I did not. But you're right. Well, let's see. We're getting some comments here.
So Tanner,
yeah,
grab this one as well.
Oh, is that that's the solo album from Edwin? From Edwin,
yeah.
Yeah, that.
Now is that there? Now, was that thrash metal album released after 2000 or before 2000?
After 2000.
Okay.
I guess I came in on the right time.
Holy crap. I'm sorry. You just missed Osric Tentacles talk. We've moved on to the next segment.
You see, I've been such a good influence on the show that even without me, it still gets mentioned. What can I say? It still gets mentioned.
And here's the thing: Rob brought it up first.
Yeah,
he did.
I did.
He did.
Because
yes, you did.
He secretly loves Osric Tentacles. He just doesn't want to admit it.
I mean, I think love is a little strong, but
oh no, I think it's what happens. I saw that little drool coming out of the corner of your mouth when I had those 10 CDs for you to burn.
Okay.
We could literally do like a 2-hour conversation of just Osric Tentacles if you guys want. But I'm gonna steer the conversation a little bit here.
Yeah, I like this guy. I like this guy.
So so Tanner's getting rolling on his.
All right, here we go.
All right.
So this is favorite thrash albums from bands formed before 1999 that have been released since 2000.
Correct. So these are classic thrash bands from the classic era that have released great albums that should be in everybody's collection, I feel. This is my first choice. This is Megadeth with the United Abominations. This is one of 3 albums without Ellison on bass. Absolutely crushing. I love every song of it. Sleepwalkers, even the new Atu Le Monde on it with Lacuna Coil vocals. I can't remember her name, but anyway, great album. I highly suggest everybody go check it out if you have not. So this is Megadeth.
I agree. That's a great album.
Dystopia is nothing to sneeze at either.
Or Endgame.
No, but that one.
Or Endgame. I like Endgame a lot.
Right. Yeah.
Cool.
Keep going, dude. You're on a roll.
Got another one? Give us another one.
Oh, okay.
Crush it.
I thought we were doing one at a time here.
We don't
Yeah,
get
sometimes
we never do anything one at a time, Tanner.
We don't get
You should know that. You should know that by now.
So.
Okay, so this is a little bit obscure. I have a couple obscure choices here. I know Scott may know us, but this is Usurper. This is Evolution. Yeah. This is Dutch thrash. It's a band from the early '90s. Released one killer record, and then they came out with this. So more than this was released I think last year. Absolutely crushing. It's a little bit more mid-pacey, but it's absolutely crushing. The drums rule, guitars rule, and I suggest everybody, if you can go find a copy because it's kind of obscure, pick it up. This is Usurper with Evolution. So
nice. All right, so I guess I'm next, right? Okay, so this is a band who formed in the early '80s, LA band, and to me, this is their best album. And
is it LA Guns?
Afterwards, but
Hyrax,
New Age of Terror.
Oh,
very nice. Yes.
This album features, to me, this was they just had the best lineup right here. First of all, you got Glenn Rogers on guitar, and you guys all know Glenn. We've had him on the show before.
Yep.
Glenn is a riff master. He's been in Steel Vengeance. He's been in Heretic. He's been in Deliverance and Vengeance and
Viking and
Primal. And he's been in Viking. Yeah. So he's been around. But he wrote a lot of this album. So this album just absolutely destroys. You also got Dave Watson on guitar in this album, who was in any number of LA bands, and Angelo Espino, who was back in the '80s, was in Reverend, and gosh, he's been in so many.
LSN and
yep. He still plays for Betsy Bitch, among others, and he's still in Heretic, I believe, as well. So there you go, Hyrax.
Uncle Slam for a minute too. So.
And now old Hyrax is a little more of a crossover sound. This is just pure thrash metal, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. That's a great album from them. All right, I'll give you another one. This one's a little more obscure. Power Mad.
It's great.
Wow,
band.
They released another record?
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. This is Infinite. Was released. Let me see if I can see the year. Kind of dark in here, but 2015.
Yeah, a great Minneapolis band. And,
exactly.
Actually, had seen them with a band called Dare Force. Another great, the Upper Midwest isn't really known for their thrash, but those guys are probably the kingpins, in my opinion. I mean,
and Power Mad kind of had a crossover, power metal / speed metal sound going on as well. But this album, again, much like the Hyrax, it's not power metal or speed metal whatsoever. It is thrash all the way through. It is hammerhead guitars, beating you over the brain, audio assault the entire time. So, and the vocals they're clean, but they're not quite as clean, and they're not quite the Agent Steel style vocals that they had on those early albums, but they're still really good out from them. And they haven't released anything again since. So, but Infinite, Power Mad. I'll do one more because I got a pile of them here.
Do it.
This is a Belgium band. They've been around since the early '90s, and their last 2 albums have been just freaking awesome.
Oh yeah, they're killer.
After All, Dawn of the Enforcer, and their last album, Waves of Annihilation. Both got the classic Ed Repka covers. So I mean, I guess I just did a video on my other channel on classic thrash releases, and that's one of the things that I mentioned was that Megadeth album. Peace Tells Me Who's Buying. I mean, after that came out, everybody had to have an Ed Repka cover in thrash metal. So,
right.
But this here, now this is unlike the Power Mad. These guys have actually gone in the way of a more speed metal sound with those clean, soaring vocals. They have a new vocalist, different vocals than they had back in the '90s. And man, that guy just brings it. He can sing, is what I'm saying. I mean, he's like the Jeff Tate of thrash metal, in my opinion. Fantastic stuff from After All. So there you go.
The Jeff Tate of thrash metal.
There you go.
Interesting.
You sure he's not Todd LaTorre?
Sure.
Anyway.
That works too. But anyhow, John, you're up.
Oh, I'm up. Well, unfortunately, I got home from my other job like a little late. But so, of course, Carcass makes lists, and I made a list of some notable bands I think that have made. Well, I made a list of bands that are old classic, shall we say, but that have made great records, in my opinion. And then I've made a list of the old standbys that haven't made such a great whatever. So, so you want the good news or the bad news?
Let's go with the bad news first. Let's hear some of the bad ones.
Okay, the bad news. Metallica. I had this discussion with my daughter's friend, and props to her, by the way. I went out there for a 4-day weekend. She was to have a show. And she had to pull out because of sickness. But it was nice to spend time with her, and I still lost 7 pounds. So thank you, Mara and Ingrid, for keeping your dad healthy. And anyway, her friend, Aaron Daniels, whose dad made some killer stickers for me, by the way, props to him. We got to talking about Metallica, and even he admitted he loves, he likes any Metallica. But as I told him, I said, those first 3 Metallicas give them so much free reign and goodwill to do whatever the heck they want that, but I think that moving forward into the 2000s, Death Magnetic is probably the pinnacle of the later releases. Even this last, what I'm going haywire because I'm about to blow up or whatever that record is. Hardwired for self to whatever.
Self-destruct, yeah.
I got the 3-disc deluxe package because, like everybody else, I bought into this idea that they're going to be so killer. And with the 3 discs, including the covers disc, you could probably make one solid album. But anyway, I'm a little disappointed. Destruction is another one. I love early Destruction. Those first 5 or 6 records are just absolutely blistering. But after Metal Discharge, I'm just sort of like, what are you guys doing? I'm not quite sure.
Interesting that you say that. So you didn't like the Thrash Till Death. What's that song? The Antichrist? Is that what's on?
The Antichrist is good. I just I don't know, the de-evolu or devolution or whatever that's called, and
yeah,
their last 2 releases to me have just been okay.
I understand what you're saying. It's just like Metallica. It's not that the albums are bad,
right?
They're just not.
They're not
killer.
Great.
Yeah, they're not Cracked Brain. They're not Infernal Overkill. They're not things like that. I think Creator kind of falls into that same deal.
I would argue.
I would argue to death with Creator.
Let me finish. I didn't say what they were doing is bad, and I actually like some of their newer stuff, including Violent Revolution, but I don't know. I've seen them live, and it was pretty sterile. I think that's what I'm probably really judging. What I'm judging this on. The sound was bad. The everything. It was just kind of I went, man. I saw these guys on the Pleasure to Kill. What was the Flag of Hate? I actually have a Flag of Hate signed by them, and they were just relentless. They were brutal. They were just. It was.
They were also 30 years younger, so.
Well, that's true, and I agree, and I'm not saying, once again, I'm not disparaging their effort. I'm just saying, like we always talk about, is it a good? It's a good album, but it's like Load and Reload. Are they good albums? Yeah, sonically they're great. The songs are decent. The riffing is okay, but are they good Metallica records?
Not as good as Saint Anger.
Well, I think that with Creator, to go off your point, they went a little bit more Swedish, like death metal in their sound. I think they went with more harmony type stuff, Iron Maiden-y kind of vibes. So I would kind of agree with that, but also it's blistering and relentless. So I still love the what they did on Enemy of God and Violent Revolution. I was
right, and I like both of those.
Hordes of Chaos was awesome.
Hordes of Chaos is awesome. Yeah,
I love that album. So yeah, I would just strongly disagree with you on this. But
okay, Well, you can do that because that's what we do here. But and once again, I'm not saying if I'm going to listen to Creator, I'm going to listen to Pleasure to Kill.
Yeah.
Or Extreme Aggressions
or Extreme Aggression,
I do listen to Hordes of Chaos quite a bit.
I do like that record probably best of the newer stuff.
And it was recorded live, and it feels that way. I think that's what made it special. Yeah.
And I think that's why I like it too, is because it feels more like just a live recording, no overdubs, no special treatments, whatever. Let's see, who else do I have on my very disappointed list?
He's going to go
Give us one more.
next. He's going to
give us one more, and then we'll swing it around again.
I am not going Overkill.
Oh, I guess he is.
Oh, there he goes.
He did go Overkill on us.
Every damn time.
I cannot believe. You know what? I've rebooted my computer. I've tried everything, and I've replugged in. I know electronics. I know how they work. But anyway. Oh, Mark Fields' Sacrifice hasn't lost a step. I can't disagree with that because they freaking rage. That new record that they put out with the Rush cover on it is absolutely blistering. Terry Sullivan says Load and Reload are not good records.
How about that Sadist record that they put out in like the mid 2000s, Out for Blood? That was good. I like that one. That's on my list. So
yeah. Yeah, there it is.
That's a good record.
That's a good record. Okay, well, not to be a negative Nelly here, but here's three positives, and I've got more. How about Exodus?
We talked about them at the beginning when you didn't get here, but yeah.
Okay, all right. How about Assassin?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I almost pulled one of their albums.
Okay. How about almost local boys from the Bayou? How about Exhorter? That recent record that they put out. In fact, Rob and I saw them with Overkill at the Gas Monkey, and they were even minus a guitar player, and they freaking ruled. It was awesome.
Killed it.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
I'm going to tell you something. I know Slaughter in the Vatican is classic, and I can't remember the name of the other one off the top of my head.
The Law.
There you go. I like the newest one the best. I know that's sacrilege, but I love it. It's so good.
It's not really sacrilege. It's just personal preference, but
it's no more sacrilege than me saying that Hyrax album is their best and not their classic 80s stuff.
Fair.
I have one I have to mention because you mentioned Texas. We can't forget them. The latest Rigor Mortis record that they put out a few years ago is fucking just as good as that debut album.
Yeah.
So
yes, it is.
That should have been on my list, though. Damn it.
Yeah. In fact, I had that in my hand, and I just thought, what is Rigor Mortis? That was what was the cool thing about them is they were kind of unique. They were thrash, but they had like a deathy element to them, and there was like a horror. They were like they were like a unique genre of metal.
To me, it was speed metal. I always thought of it as a speed metal band.
Anyway,
speed metal thrash, such a fine line right there.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we're grasping at metal straws there.
Well, Mike's picking style is super unique to literally every other band out there. Like he's the only guy that can pick like that.
Right, and the thing is and the rest of the band just, usually you follow the drummer, then the bass player, then everyone kind of locks in.
Mm-hmm.
Not in that band. You tried to stay with the Bumblebee and it just. Well, and that's why that first record is so great, and that's why the last record is so great because it's the original lineup back together, and I was shocked, and I got to hear the whole process because I was friends with Bruce. Well, I guess I'm still friends with Bruce. Rest his soul, he's not here, but I got to hear scratch tracks and things that they were doing and experimenting in the studio, and I couldn't wait for that release, and it is absolutely ripping. Oh, classic Rigor Mortis. You're right. Good call, Tanner.
Very good call.
So, Rob, do you have another one to show? Nope. Or are you hanging back? Then you're up again, Tanner.
All right. Well, I'm gonna since Scott mentioned Hyrax, this is my particular favorite Hyrax release, and this is Assassins of War. I absolutely
that's killer.
Love this album. I know it's considered an EP, but I just love it so much. This has my brother and Lance Harrison on guitar features him on it. So got to go with my boy here. This is Hyrax with Assassins of War. So
I think Glenn Rogers is on that one too, right?
yes, sir, he is. Absolutely.
Does that mean I'm up?
Okay, go for it.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I got a list. You got cool stuff to show.
All right.
I got like 20 more to go show too, so we're good.
I'm gonna
All
take
right.
a nap.
Well, just wait till we talk about Dawkins sometime, then we'll all be
Yeah,
taking
I'm all
a nap.
We'll make sure to put on the Osric tentacles when you sleep. So.
Yeah.
There you go. It'll help you sleep. Speaking of which, Rob.
There you go. I don't even know what that. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
What do you got?
This is my favorite Exodus post.
Oh, wow.
2000s. This is Atrocity Exhibition A. I loved B as well, but I'm a huge Dukes era Exodus fan, just as much as Bailoff, and I love Zetro. I just loved the intensity of Dukes with this particular era of Exodus, because the guitar tone got heavier and whatnot, and even in Blood In, Blood Out, the one that Rob actually showed, I felt that was particularly obviously written more for Dukes, and Zetro kind of came in, and so I didn't feel it fit as well as say this kind of record.
Interesting.
So,
Yeah, I never thought of that.
That thing is a heavy Pinche Madre there, man. That thing's brutal.
And what's funny is when it came out, everybody didn't, for some reason it got a lot of flack, and now it's become like kind of instilled into their whole catalog. It's a great record. I
love that record. It's
the riff to
freaking awesome.
Iconoclasm, the solo section to Children of a Worthless God, just classic stuff. So
I even liked the Bonded by Blood he did, the re-recording of Bonded by Blood with Dukes.
I did too.
I thought it was good.
Everybody hates that for some reason, and I'm thinking
I thought it was great.
I thought it was sonically brilliant, and I thought for not that you necessarily have to re-record something that is so poorly produced, because the songs are great, but that just proves that the songs were great and now they sound good too.
Yeah,
well, they did that because they didn't own that specific album. I'm assuming that's why most bands do that. So they don't own their own catalog of music, so they re-record it, and now they own it. So
right on. I'm gonna go with a few German bands, and I'm not saying Creator or what else we say? Destruction. Don't tell them either. But how about Protector?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
This album I think is 2013. This album annihilate. This album's killer.
Now, to your point though, they have a little more of a death metal feel to me.
Yeah, they do. They kind of cross over into death metal, but the music is. I mean, there's not a whole lot of blast beats, and there's definitely not death metal vocals. It kind of rides the fence between death metal and thrash.
Well, and I think that's why. To me, that's where death metal was formed. Was just a grittier, grindier form of thrash. I mean,
yep, I agree. But Tanner, wouldn't you say Madras rides that line as well at times?
correct. Absolutely,
Yep,
but it's
sure.
we also do that as a nod to the old school, because like I said, that first Death record is literally a thrash metal album with more brutal vocals. So yeah, I mean that, but Protector is as well. So yeah, it's great bands, man. I love all those.
This is my favorite album by this German band, and they've been around for a long time too. Repent.
Oh yeah, it's a great band.
Jürgen Amann, this is their 2020 release. This made my top 10 of last year. This is a fantastic album from them.
I have it on my list.
Right on. It's a great album. So I like it so much. I have an autographed copy. You even got a little flyer in the back, and I love that band now.
Oh yeah, they're great.
And then one more German band, and this band has released multiple albums that I just think are fantastic. They always make my top 10 list every time they put out a new album, but Accuser.
I keep seeing that one come up.
Accuser.
Yep. Ripping.
They just haven't released a bad album, and they've been putting them out year after year after year, and everything is just fantastic. If I had to choose my favorite of these ones, I'd probably go with the Mastery, but dang, they're all fantastic, and they don't sound like anybody else. I mean, you could take those early 80s albums and you can kind of hear the Metallica, Exodus influences in their sound. Not here. This just sounds like Accuser and nobody else.
Yeah. Well, and to your point, because they're on my list of happy successes. I said, and I'll give you 3 more: Accuser, Overkill, and Tankard. Anybody?
I agree.
Fraser said Tankard, and I agree. Tankard really hasn't put out a bad record ever. I don't think they're very consistent, and I don't think Overkill is the most consistent band in metal. I'll go to my grave with it. And how many albums have they released? 16.
Oh gosh.
I can't even keep up anymore.
16 or 17,
and
they've got another. And they've got another one in the works. So
how about this one?
Yeah.
Top of my list. Top of my list. Yes. And that particular album is ripping.
This particular album is fantastic. It barely made the list. Released in 2000. I didn't show M16 because it's 1999. I'm like, darn it. Because M16 is my absolute favorite, but Code Red's easily as good. And
dude, that thing rules. That thing absolutely. I don't know what it is about the color albums like Agent Orange and Code Red, but those are my 2 favorite Sodoms.
I don't know how familiar you are with Sodom, Rob, but I highly recommend checking out M16 or Code Red. Either one of those albums will dominate you.
Yep.
I also suggest Tapping the Vein because I love that album so
much. That's a great album too.
That's an underappreciated, probably one that just slid under the rug and nobody knew it. And man, that thing does shred.
It's one of my favorites from them.
Well, you're up, John. So.
Oh well, I just seconded your Accuser thing. So yes, they rip. But how about? And these are borderline. A couple of disappointments. Sacred Reich.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, you think? I like that.
They kind of did they kind of did a steady spiral downward, and kind of like another. They're foes. They're friends from Arizona, Flotsam and Jetsam. I just after the first 2, I'm just like, I don't know, what are you guys doing? I kind of was interested in Drift. It was sort of a weird proggy experiment, and but everyone loves the new Flotsam, and I'm just like, it's okay. I mean, it's not. Once again, I'm not saying that it's a terrible record and these guys suck. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying if I've got the stack of Flotsam records, I'm going to the first 2, and then I'm probably gonna maybe I have the tape of Drift, which is weird, I know, but I listen to that thing every now and then because I'm used to listening to it on tape. So I don't know. The rest of their stuff it's okay. And I think, Rob, didn't we see them with Venom Inc. and Necrophagia in Flotsam and Jetsam at the Tomcats?
No, you're crossing 2 shows. We saw Flotsam, Hatchet, and Hellstar. Yeah, and
wow.
It was Venom Inc. and
Toxic Holocaust and somebody else. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I knew we had seen Flotsam, but I don't even know that I stayed for the whole set. I was just like, yeah. And they even had what's his name, Jason Bittner playing drums. And it's great. It sounded great. It looked great. I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to be. I don't want to be so negative.
I jumped out of my seat to go grab this one because I think this album's fantastic from Flotsam.
What is that one?
This is what year did this thing come out? I don't know. This is like 3 or 4 albums ago, but it's Ugly Noise.
Never even heard of it. So maybe it's
fantastic album.
I'm writing it down.
Ugly Noise. It's different. It's not.
Can we say this too? Some of these bands have had awful album covers throughout their whole catalog or their whole career, and I always thought Flotsam was like that for me. I just don't get their concept of album covers, I guess.
Well, their second one, No Place for Disgrace, is iconic.
That's my favorite of all their covers. Like
their first album is cheesy, but it's iconic as well.
But it worked. Sure. But that one works. Like the one, what was the black and white one with the helicopter on it? I couldn't.
Oh yeah.
Quattro.
Yeah.
Quattro. Yep.
I just don't get it. So.
It was the 90s, and everything was crappy in the 90s.
Well, Yeah, and once again, I'm not saying that these bands are terrible or whatever. I'm just saying,
I don't think any of us are.
you know, I just Flotsam is a weird band. I guess they went Metallica without having the stigma and the immensity of Metallica as far as credibility. But you know, I just think it's cool that these older bands are still trying to put out cool records, kind of like Evil Dead. They just released a new one here this last year, and that thing freaking shreds, and it sounds like an Evil Dead record.
Most of that band is made up of Anger is Art.
Oh, that's right. So
and a little bit of Abattoir, but yeah,
a little bit. Yeah.
But you know what? If you still have the chops, then man, go make a record. That's killer. I mean, I wouldn't discourage anybody, and especially if someone's willing to pay for you to press a record. Let's go.
Absolutely, man.
You know,
right on. You gotta go. You want to go again, Tanner?
Sure. I got one more physically that I can show. Now this band has been super consistent, and I do consider them a thrash band, but I consider them also like just a technical masterpiece kind of band. And this is probably my favorite of the whole technical thrash dealio, but this is Mekong Delta, and I absolutely love Tales of the Future Past. I do, but I would, there you go. See, but I would consider them a thrash. They still fall into the category of, you know, classic thrash bands that release great great albums after 2000s, and this is no exception. Look, the album cover is awesome. Like the case in point, right? So it's like this is what's going to appeal to somebody like me, and to give it a listen. And I couldn't stop playing this last year. This was actually my #1 album of last year.
I'm the same way. I love that album. Very progressive, almost prog rock, in my opinion.
Right, but even their new vocalist is great. He's been great, very consistent on the last couple records. Into the Mirror Darkly was awesome. I just thought this band's been super consistent, and the bass player writes everything, which is super unique to like a technical kind of band. So definitely got to go Mekong Delta.
I agree. That's a great choice. Obviously I grabbed that one too.
So has anyone mentioned Testament?
Oh yes, they got mentioned right before you got in.
Okay, all right. Does anyone think that Voivod's a thrash band?
They
I
were
was surprised that I did not hear any of you guys talk about Voivod.
Well, again, though, it's like Mekong Delta. Like they're a weird band.
Yeah, Voivod were definitely a thrash band early on, and I love them too. So
I've really, for some stupid reason, gotten into them. I used to listen to Dimension Hatros like on the regular. And then The Outer Limits to me is like one of the best rock records ever done. I would call it a top 25 for me. And I just sort of branched out both directions because their latest release is really, really awesome. In fact, Rob, I think we saw them live with a bunch of other bands. And but anyway, how about and Violence is about ready to put out a new EP or new record. So there's another blast from the past, and I saw them, as I've mentioned before, back in January of 2020 with Razor and Carcass and Power Trip. Boy, the Riley Gales thing still gets to me. But anyway, but dude, they still got it. And oh yeah, by the way, we're just going to replace our other guitarist to play next to Phil with Bobby Gustafson of the original Overkill. Oh, sorry. No, not sorry. But so Violence is about ready to release a record, so I guess we should talk sort of about them too. But
the problem is I didn't enjoy the latest cover single, so I can't say much about it. So,
but was it Violence doing the cover single, or was it like Phil Demmel's All-Star Fun? Let's get together at the pool hall band.
Well, no, but Violence released California Uberalis.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, and I wasn't particularly keen on it, so I
will need to check that out.
Yeah. But it's also a cover. So I think it's mostly like, hey, let's see what we can do. Here's a little tidbit of let's see if we still got it. So I'm really looking forward to their new stuff because I think Violence is probably one of my all-time favorite like metal bands, period.
Well, those once again, those first two albums are are undoubtedly the two of the greatest.
And that's Sans Flynn, right?
No,
Yeah,
Flynn was.
This doesn't have. Oh no, yeah. The first two had Rob Flynn on it. The new
Right.
version obviously does.
Yeah, it does not have. No, they won't ever do anything with him again. I don't think.
You never know. You just never know.
I think what they have now is super solid. So
yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
I wish. Yeah, go for it.
It was raging mayhem when I saw them.
The best thrash band I've ever seen live is Violence. Period.
And the entire floor looks like the permapress cycle of your washing machine when they start playing. It's amazing.
And I saw them open for Sacred Reich, and they opened the show. So it was. I felt really bad for Sacred Reich.
Yeah.
I mean,
because it almost looks lethargic when they're and even including the crowd when after that. I've heard similar reports.
Do you remember? Yep. Do you remember when they made Blabbermouth with the guy's hair getting caught in Phil's guitar? When he scalped the kid. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, it made Blabbermouth. But anyway, that was that show. I saw it in front of me. Really intoxicated, so it was awesome. But yeah, that
Mark Field says I would hate with capital letters to follow Violence.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, who could? No, I don't even think Exodus could. I think Violence needs to headline. They're just that good.
Well, back in the day, I used to trip out to the West Coast, and it would be not even a surprise to see Violence, Exodus, and Testament back to back at the Stone or at the Omni in Oakland, or Dark Angel and Violence or Hyrax, and it was ridiculous. It was a ridiculous time, especially for thrash, and that's why the Bay Area thing is so cool. Hex, there's another band that I think came out with a new record in the aughts. Fraser Dawson mentioned the Dark Angel thing. Are they in the aughts? Did they release something new?
No, they have not. They've been playing a lot of big shows, touring the world, playing all the big festivals in Europe, but they have released, other than a bootleg live album and a cover of Creeping Death on a Metallica tribute, that's all they've done. Yeah, they don't have any.
That surprises me a little bit, but I know that band was fractured from the very beginning. But man, what can you say about Dark Angel? Darkness Descends, and I mean all that stuff. That's a lesson in violence that you're soon not to forget.
Hey, I got let me get through a few more of these, because we're getting 42 minutes in, and I've got still a stack to show.
Of course you do.
Of course I do. All California bands. How about Viking?
Dude. Yes. Love Viking.
Another California band. Now, this one might be pushing the line of calling him thrash. I've always called him U.S. power metal, but for the sake of argument, I'm going to go with Heretic. They've got two
another good one.
And Atomic Crisis is fantastic. In the lineup, we got original vocalist in there. And again, here we got Glenn Rogers and Angelo Espino on bass from Hyrax. So that same two people that were playing in that Hyrax album that I showed not too long ago. And then one more from Southern California. This band, I don't know what you guys think, but I think this was a fantastic comeback record from them. But this Deliverance, Subversive Kind.
I'm making a note.
This was a return to thrash metal. Oddly enough, well, mine's got a set list in the back of it, but oddly enough, Glenn Rogers also plays on this record. He does not write on this record, though. The whole album's written by Jimmy Brown, but he does play lead on this album. And yeah, this was a return to total speed thrash metal from Deliverance.
Yeah, because they kind of strayed away from that stuff for a little bit.
Yes, they did.
That kind of weird.
They went groove. They went progressive. They went all over the place. But that is a return to form. Yeah, it's really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I happen to know that this is going to be getting a re-release in the near future with. Well, I'll just leave it at that. Okay. How about this one? Infidel.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, wow.
This album is fantastic. I love this record. I don't know that I love it more than the classic stuff, but it's easily as good as the classic 80s stuff. So I can't wait. These guys are working on a new album, so I can't wait to hear that. I'm begging them to work with me on our label, so we'll see if that works out or not, but we'll see. At War,
Yeah.
always considered like a B grade Slayer. I've never considered them that.
No, they're not B grade anything.
They were always a mishmash of Motorhead and that Slayer sound, and
yeah,
I love them. So hey, got a few more here.
By the way, Tiberius says that Dark Angel has 5 or 6 songs on the go, and their new album would have been released by the end of 2020. The album's release date was pushed to the 2021.
Who's that? Dark Angel? I talk to Ron all the time. He hasn't said anything to me about it, but we'll see.
Yeah, that would be great. Anyway, what you got? Oh, you're wearing a Dark Angel shirt. I just noticed.
Yeah.
Sorry.
About the latest from Heathen.
Oh, wow.
I was gonna pick Evolution of Chaos, but yeah, that's
either way. Evolution of Chaos is a great album too. This was a.
Does that have Lee Altus? Is that still
that?
Lee Altus? Is that what he's doing these days when he's not with Exodus?
Yep.
Cool.
How about this one surprised me because it's so damn good, and I liked it as much as their first album, Faith or Fear, Instruments of Death.
Wow.
great band too.
Yeah.
Out of Philadelphia, I believe. Pennsylvania,
Yes,
anyhow. UK. Acid Rain.
Oh, wow. They're a killer. They're like they sort of have a crossover element to them, but they're thrash. Yeah,
but
I like
here, they don't have the crossover sound as much here. This is more straightforward, beat you over the head, machine gun riffing, in your face thrash metal. This is them getting away from the joking and the non-seriousness and just playing straightforward, straight ahead thrash metal.
Despite having a clown on the cover.
Yeah, but as you can see, that clown is not exactly a.
No, he's not friendly. Not at all.
There's one on the back cover too, and he's smiling. But I don't know that I want to meet him in a dark alley.
No, not at all.
Fraser, I'm not speechless. I just cannot keep up with these dudes. I told him even before we started last week talking about thrash. I said, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to let you boys spin. And that's what I'm doing.
I've only got a handful more, and then we can just keep talking until we're running out of time. But this one I don't know. This one borders thrash metal, but the vocalist on here just kills. But this is the latest from Tourniquet, Gazing at Medusa.
Oh, wow.
We got Tim Ripper Owens singing on this record, the entire thing. And
Get out. That's killer.
This album is just brilliant, progressive, heavy. If you like the third, Pathogenic Ocular Dissonance from Tourniquet, which is probably the most technical record before they kind of started messing around with their sound, this is kind of a return to that sound. Very, very chaotic riffing. Guitar solos are out of this world. It's great stuff, and a cool cover too. Gotta love Medusa.
Yeah, you had me at Ripper Owens. Cool.
Another one out of Iron Angel.
Man.
Somebody mentioned Iron Angel in the comments.
Got to see them live. They were great. That's a great band live.
Motorhead at War is not a Motorhead clone.
By the way, has anybody mentioned Omega Wave from Forbidden yet?
Not yet.
Okay. I said I was not exactly thrilled. I mean, it was good, but I wanted I wanted Forbidden Evil or Twisted into Form. Yeah.
I got one more, and this one's a bit self-serving, and I won't say much about it, but
shameless
self-promotion.
Shameless.
Ultimatum was formed in 1992. This is 2005. So, and
fair enough.
And I am damn proud of this album. I think it's one of the best recordings we ever did. It's got some of the best songs we ever did. So, yeah, I love it. So, there you go.
I'm going to give him a Metallica pass on that one.
This is the one I would choose, but that's fine. So
that album came out in 2000, so it makes the cut.
There you go.
Awesome.
Great stuff, Scott. So,
hey, so speaking of modern thrash albums, Tanner, I believe that you have got something being reissued, or you had something in the pipeline. Tell us about that.
Sure. So our first album, Maleficent, I don't have a physical.
It's behind you, literally.
It literally is. There you go. Yeah, this is the banner, so I decided to use it for a nice backdrop. But yeah, so our first album got picked up by No Life Till Metal Records, which I'm extremely grateful for. Thank you, Scott and Bill, for that, for giving me that opportunity. But it is being reissued. I highly suggest people go get a copy. There's also, it got newly remastered by the great Rob up there, somewhere over there. But he did a great job. It cleaned it all up. It's a lot cleaner than the original kind of sound of it. So extremely looking forward to getting my hands on those copies. And then obviously there you go.
Yeah.
The first 50 pre-orders come with a sticker, which and I can autograph them too if you guys want. I think that'll be cool. You know, if people want the autographed copy or whatever. So I can go ahead and do that for the pre-orders only or whatever. Gives more incentive to get a copy. But yeah, there's only 100 pressed that are going to be sold through No Life Till Metal Records.com. So I suggest everybody go pick up a copy of that. And of course, it'll be on CD as well. And Scott, take
with a bonus track.
With a bonus track. So there you go.
Yep.
Because I'm the crypt.
Absolutely. What was it?
When I was working on that, I sang that and sang that and sang that.
My apologies.
I mean, in the shower, I'm the crypt keeper.
What do they call that? An
At a red light,
earworm?
I'm the crypt keeper. I mean, it was just great tune. I was telling Scott just the other day, my favorite songs on that record are the first song and the last song.
Zombie Grinder.
Yeah, I love that one too. Yeah, the whole album
we did a lyric video for that song.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, before we go back to John, I have one more I forgot about. It was because it wasn't on vinyl, but this is the third and final album from German band Blackened. They were formed in the early '90s as well. They were doing thrash.
That looks like a different logo.
It's the same. It is the same logo, but Blackened were playing thrash in the '90s when thrash was a dirty word. Actually, that's the same. They were playing same time as Ultimatum because we were on the same label. We were on Massacre in those early 2000s. And that's what this is on, Massacre. So yeah, Blackened's third album. This one's called The Last Thing Undone. But I got to say, my favorite from Blackened is Mental Game Messiah, which is their second album.
There you go.
Anyhow, sorry, I had to do that one.
Nothing. I got nothing else except for I love thrash. Who doesn't? And
Carcass John, I can't get off of here without mentioning Warbringer 4 is rad. So that's my favorite Warbringer album. That's all I had to say to you.
Warbringer, you're gonna make me go back and listen to it, and that's cool. That's what I do.
Empire's
Cage
Collapse.
Match.
That's a great. I love that album. So I heard you guys spiel about last.
I just said I didn't know what they were thinking when they did it.
Oh, I know.
That was my comment.
I know. I understand. I'm just saying that's my favorite Warbringer record, and I will just defend it to the day I die because it's it's a little bit more proggy though, dude. If you're into like prog stuff, but you're into Ozark Tentacles, so
yeah,
you just sold an album.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Tiberius. I've been seeing your comments on YouTube. I appreciate you watching, brother. Good to have you. He had some good comments in here too.
Yeah,
and did. I don't want to introduce or I don't want to interrupt you guys.
No, bring him in, man.
Bring him in. Go for it, man.
Go for it.
He was the one that brought up that Hoagland said that they had several songs in. He also said this is the one, and I don't know what this means, and forgive me if I'm not familiar with the song title, but he asked back in the comments, he says, can Tanner play Frozen Beneath the Snow?
Oh, okay. Well, what, live or sing it here right now? Because that's going to be very different.
Okay, so that's one of your songs.
Correct. Yeah, that's off of the Into the Aquatic Sector record.
Okay. I didn't know that. Well, that whatever you want to do, acoustic, harmonica, acapella.
You don't have a harpsichord.
It's up to you.
Well, if you go back and listen to it, I'm probably not going to be able to do the high notes on here because it's like might deafen some people. But we may bring back that song alive. I know. There you go. See, you got it right there. I know if you come see us May 1st at Stages in Santa Ana, California, you'll be able to hear Crypt Keeper live for the first time in, I think, 9 or 10 years. So that'll be fun. We brought back that song because specifically for people like you and Matt Harvey telling me to bring it back. So if Matt Harvey of Exhumed tells you to bring a song back, you bring it back. So
Tanner, since you're talking about playing shows again, Texas, I mean, that's where I discovered you on the stage with another. For the life of me, I can't remember that band from San Diego.
Incinerator rules. You again. Yep. We could have talked about. I want to come back on here and hopefully do a part 2 to that last week's episode because I have so many great bands that we could talk about.
Okay.
So, anyway, but yeah, Sacrificial Slaughter, Isolation, and Infamy are the 2 bands here.
Hey, right. And I want to extend this. When we talked earlier this week, Tanner, when you said you wanted to come on the show, or earlier this week, which was yesterday, I'm serious when I say this, and I know the other guys are too. If you ever want to come on and hijack the show, if you have a topic, bring your ass in here. We would love to have you.
Yep. Am I right? Of it. I got tons.
That's why it's called the Metal Roundtable, man, so we can all discuss stuff.
That's right.
Absolutely. I would love to do a part 2,
I'm not saying anything. I'm letting the big boys talk, the experts.
Well, I would, and the reason for it is since I'm a little bit more ingrained into that specific style, I would love to bring on some bands that people need to check out. So that's all.
Yeah. Please do, man. If you've got a buddy or a guest that you want to bring on, we will give you the forum anytime.
Appreciate you guys, man. Carcass, so what is your question on the show aspect?
Are you any plans for Texas? Because that's where I discovered you at the Rail Club with those bands, and I remember I just distinctly remember. In fact, I bought the first album, the one that's behind you, and I just thought, man, this, and I like to support especially traveling bands because I know what it costs to be on the road, and I know that one CD could mean part of a tank of gas. And but when you're good, I remember. Yep, there you go. I remember I bought a shirt, I bought a CD, I got stickers, and then I kind of, I don't know. I'm waiting for you to come back and we'll roll out the red carpet for your triumphant return to the mighty Texas area. So, any chances that you might?
You have to button your shirt, though.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, no shirt, no shirt, no shoes, no service. No.
Oh, that's too bad.
So, any chance you're going to hit the road, and any chance you come to Texas before the end of 2022?
Oh man, well, I would love for that. We just have to get the opportunity to do that. Right now I am, I'm going through a little bit of a health kind of thing where like I'm going to see a doctor about it tomorrow, but my hand, I'm trying to not do as many shows so I can concentrate on getting my hand back to where I need it to be so I can start playing guitar again. I'm just trying to be honest here about it, but yeah, okay. I would love to. I would absolutely love to, but right now, besides the May 1st show, because it's so close, I didn't want to cancel it. So we're going to do it as a one guitar dealio. So if you come see us, it'll be a unique experience because literally Big Cat's going to be doing all the guitars and I'll be singing. But for touring purposes, I would love to. Yeah, by 2022, if we can get the opportunity to come out there, absolutely. We have the means. It's just a matter of things kind of opening back up again for 100% of the time and people being comfortable with going out of their house. So once those 2 things happen, sure, absolutely.
Hey, Tanner, I want to, you mentioned the hand thing. I have a buddy, Chris Manning, that is also a label mate of yours on No Life Till Metal. He has suffered that repetitive use injury in his hands and has had some trouble. I would love to put you in touch with him so you guys could compare notes.
I would love to.
I'll keep that on the private side, but yeah, hit me up and let me put you in touch with Chris.
Sure. Yeah. It literally felt like my muscle, my hand just split, and it's like, it hasn't been the same since. So, after that all spill comes, happens or whatever, I'm going to Texas, it seems like. So
well, just know that you have a place to stay and you have a place to play at Casa de Carcass.
Live at Casa de Carcass.
Yes, sir. Yep. And we'll record it and we'll give you the tape. And
do you hear me, Carcass?
Hey, I'm all in. I just told the guy I'm all in. He even gets to pick the room that he plays.
As long as I can play with no shirt, I'm down. So
Oh,
You know what? Take your shirt off, man. I don't care. It's all good.
You and DeLuca, man, from UFO. Every time I see a picture of that guy from back in the day, he's got his damn shirt off.
Well, that's because they can take their shirts off.
Well, because
Rob.
if I look like that,
I don't
would
want
take
you
my
to take your
off,
shirt
too.
off, please. Please,
Yeah.
let's not do that.
Nobody
That's
wants
awesome.
to see any of this. No.
Well, hey, I don't mean to rush us off, but we're in an hour now, and I know Mark is going to be waiting. So, Rob, it's you're up, man. End us.
Boom! That is it for episode 92 of the Metal Roundtable. I want to thank Tanner from Madrost. Sorry that we missed out on our other guest, but
He'll be
will
with
have
us.
him on
He'll be with
again
us
in the
soon.
future. Thank you to the Carcass. Thank you to Scott Waters as always. And you can follow me at I am Metal Rob on Instagram. You can follow Scott on YouTube. Find him on his channel, Scott Waters. You can follow the Carcass at Carcass John Art. And Tanner, give us your vitals on social media.
I encourage everybody to go to No Life Till Metal Records for anything Madrost related, vinyls, CDs. For t-shirts and whatnot, go to madrost.bandcamp.com. It's MADROST.
Madrost, we love it.
And
Yep.
All right, boys.
look out for poppetscorner.com is the name of my podcast. So I just had to throw that out there too. And Razor Radio. So there you go.
Cool. You boys got anything, any parting shots?
No,
No, thanks, Tanner. Appreciate
that was a fun
it.
show, man.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Enjoyed
Thank
it.
you. You're welcome anytime. Please come on and hijack the show. We would love it.
And
Let's
so
hear
now,
how's your
now,
tentacles that hour, huh?
now,
Whatever.
Rob, you have it's 3-on-1. It's officially a beatdown.
I'll just put on my Tora shirt or whatever, and it'll be fine.
As Fraser would say, you better respect that.
That's right.
Because we're on it. So
You better recognize.
you better recognize that.
All right, boys, for episode 92 of the Metal Roundtable, this is Metal Rob saying, until next time,
Metal.
will
prevail.
my hands need to be in 3D.
Hey,